He joins us live from Philadelphia for more on China's influence on global stage. He's a research scholar at the Center for the Study of Contemporary China at the University of Pennsylvania. Neysun, welcome to the program. I really want to begin my first question focusing on President Xi Jinping's speech. What was your takeaway from that speech, and what will you be looking for in the final remaining days of the 19th CPC National Congress?
Sure. So with respect to the speech, it's a long speech. It was almost 3.5 hours long. And there's going to be a need to really go through and look at it very carefully and see in all its specifics the various new turns of phrase or different types of points that are made. But at a broad level of abstraction, one of the major themes that comes out of it is this notion of China entering a new era of engagement and influence on the world stage. That phrase is a new phrase that I think has some importance to it that was repeated a number of times. And at the same time, there's a lot of attention to China's domestic challenges and thinking about mechanisms that can better address all the sources of social discontent. So at a broad level of abstraction, that was very interesting to me to see this combination of projecting China's influence and greater confidence abroad, but also paying attention to its sources of social discontent domestically and trying to resolve those. In terms of, I guess your other question was what to expect in the next few days. The biggest thing that we'll be looking for is who ultimately will be on that 7-member Politburo Standing Committee. There have been a lot of names thrown around, a lot of speculation, a lot of horse trading as to what exactly is going to be that list. And so that'll be the big item to see when those 7 people come out, who exactly they're going to be.
Let me ask you a little bit more about Xi's message and him talking about entering a new era and China really ready to take center stage in the world. How do you think that message and Xi's vision, that vision in particular, is being received around the world, especially in Latin American countries where China has huge investments?
So, in the last few years, China has become much more involved not only in the UN institutions, that was just referenced a few moments ago, but also in terms of promoting infrastructure programs in Africa and Latin America. Now we have this One Belt, One Road program. I think we're still in the early days of seeing how exactly it's going to be received in the various countries and what the particular dynamics are. My sense is, up to this point, a lot of the talk has been aspirational and somewhat abstract, and now we're getting into the moments where things are going to get more concrete and potentially will become a little bit more difficult. There will be more and more challenges in these various countries that China is engaged in as its engagement becomes more and more real and more concrete.
There's no doubt about the fact that China has made great strides in a number of areas, from climate change, reducing poverty, fighting corruption. But you mentioned there are still domestic challenges. Talk about those challenges for us.
Well, China has changed a lot in this reform and opening period. And there are segments of the society that have become fabulously wealthy, and there are segments of the society that have not. And so that economic inequality is going to be something that the government is going to be paying very close attention to and thinking about. And of course, you have the ongoing issues of environmental pollution that the government seems to be taking more seriously and trying to address, but is still a feature of life. And in terms of the access to the court system, the justice system, these are themes that President Xi mentioned in his speech. Having those types of mechanisms available in a more robust way to help manage some of these social discontent problems may be useful.
And very quickly, how much do you believe President Trump's America First strategy has really helped China fill this leadership role on the world stage?
There's no question that the Trump administration's rhetoric and some of its particular moves with respect to international institutions and global pacts like the Climate Pact have given China an opportunity, have given it an opening. And so I guess what we'll have to see now is how China takes advantage of that, or what kinds of engagement China now produces in that space that the administration, the current U.S. administration, seems to be affording it.
All right, we'll leave it there. Neysun Mahboubi, thank you so much.